Real Madrid left the Metropolitano stunned, not simply because 2 goals went past their keeper, but because the performance peeled back a number of uncomfortable truths. Atlético turned up with a clear plan: press, overload the half spaces, and force Madrid into uncomfortable moments, and Julian Álvarez executed it with ruthless efficiency, scoring twice and making life miserable for a backline that looked frayed at the edges. Dean Huijsen and Álvaro Carreras were repeatedly exposed at the moments that mattered most. Their positioning and concentration lapses became invitations that Atlético gleefully accepted. Xabi Alonso had signalled intent with his selection by starting Jude Bellingham, but even Bellingham's quality couldn't paper over the structural cracks that opened up across midfield and defence. When a team of Atlético's organisation finds those cracks, a scoreline can swell fast, and it did, to a humiliating 5-2. The aftermath was immediate and loud. Social media did what it does best: it found images, memes, and sound bites and amplified them. El Chiringuito's Jota Jordi didn't just react. He celebrated the route, a mocking gesture that quickly became the evening's most shared clip, while Cristobal Soria turned the win into a soundbite on how Diego Simeone's tactics had outclassed Madrid. Those reactions matter because they shape the public narrative. One bad result becomes a storyline about forms, competence, and even leadership. Fans will chew on the footage of miscalculated runs and missed challenges, and journalists will ask if this match marks a temporary setback or the beginning of a trend. On the pitch, the issues were more technical than theatrical. Atlético's pattern exploited Madrid's inability to rotate quickly into covering lanes. Overloaded flanks and trains of play that cut through the central corridors left defenders facing 2 problems at once: movement to cover the ball and marking runners into the box. Julian Álvarez thrived because he didn't wait. He moved into pockets between centre-backs and midfielders and finished sharply when chances appeared. When an attacker reads those spaces and a defending unit doesn't adjust, the result can look inevitable. Individual errors compounded the issue. Mistakes at elite level turn into decisive moments, and tonight Madrid made too many of them. The big questions land on Xabi Alonso's desk. Was the selection right? Were substitutions the correct ones at the right time? How does he restore confidence in defenders who now face a barrage of criticism? Supporters will demand clarity about defensive roles and will watch the training reports for changes in shape and discipline. The club's sporting directors will watch the media wave too, because narratives about instability can grow quickly. A single result rarely defines a season, but patterns do. For players like Huijsen and Carreras, the scrutiny will be intense. For Bellingham, the debate will be whether he is best used from the start or as a match changer in tumultuous fixtures. Credit where it's due, Atlético executed their plan with discipline and intensity. Simeone's side pressed intelligently, turned pressure into clear chances, and finished ruthlessly. That type of performance builds momentum and belief. For Real Madrid, the match is a wake-up call rather than a sentence, yet the margin between revival and a deeper crisis can be small if the club responds poorly. Psychological damage from public mockery and pundit jabs exists, but so does the rugby-like resilience that has seen Madrid overturn narratives before. What matters now is how quickly the coaching staff converts criticism into concrete improvements in training and selection. Beyond tactics, this fixture is a reminder that football is theatre as much as it is sport. Dramatic results supply headlines and sound bites that accelerate decision-making and fan emotion. Jota Jordi's taunt and Soria's praise for Simeone will be replayed, dissected, and used as shorthand in columns and comment threads. For supporters, the evening hurts. For rivals, it's fuel. But for a club of Real Madrid's history, the story rarely ends with a single defeat. The coming days will show whether Xabi Alonso can steer his group back to focus, whether defensive fundamentals are tightened, and whether the squad finds the resilience to respond. The scoreboard tonight was brutal, but in elite football, responses define legacies just as much as results do.